just had a shave not too long ago. Had to go to the food bank again, and yeah, I thank God for little things, getting food, and I mean, I can't complain, but I can't help but feel like things could be better, a lot better. You know, I was just trying to talk to some people the other week, trying to see if I can get help to find work or maybe a good church. I was at the grocery store the other day talking with this girl. She looked like she was younger than me, but she had three teenage sons, so she told me. And that got me thinking, yeah, you know what? I'm getting up there in age. I mean, I look good now because, I had a clean shave and got a little bit of exercise the other day, which is kind of good. But yeah, there is something to be said about lonely men out there who don't have a third place to go to. Like, it doesn't have to be a gym. I was reminiscing about the good days back before COVID started and this whole mess that happened afterward. I don't even know who I am anymore some days, to be honest. It's like I would like to get out there more and do things with people, but I realize now, at my age and this time and place, it's getting hard to do that. We just had a major storm, and yeah, I know people in America, they can't relate as much because down there they don't get the amount of snow that we have. But up here, up in Canada, it's pretty crazy. Yeah. Like soon, get a better one. Yeah, my budget is not that great. Finding work out here, it's a challenge. I'm not gonna lie. I try and keep on applying to places, just regular places I go to. It seems like everybody is coming in from the east. They seem to get all the help. And when I was over at the food bank, like, okay, first of all, I just want to say, thank God for the opportunity. I'm not going to, you know, bite the hand that feeds, but it seems to me that some people I talk to down there, they either don't understand what I've been doing or what I do, or they just don't care. They All they offered was a phone number for 211, but that doesn't really apply to me. That applies for people that need help with housing and income support and help for doctors and such. Maybe I should get into finding a doctor on that number. But yeah, I'm just saying, it is hard sometimes to find like-minded people, friends. I don't go out anymore on the weekends, and that's fine. I don't really care. I'm not missing anything out there. I know that. It's just down there. It's not a happy place. There was one more place where you could go to get food, but it's just overrun by addicts, alcoholics, and such. People are coming in off the street. They don't look too good, and I'm just trying to stay, clear-headed, stay away from bad influences, and trying to find my people in this city is hard. It's definitely been harder since COVID. The videos I've been making in the past, like, I'm not going to talk about that too much, but the fact that I've been censored many times, like, I can see, okay, I can see where the world is heading, but at the end of the day, I got to focus on myself, because I look to people who didn't really seem to understand where it was coming from. I actually wanted more out of life. I think that's fair. I think many guys out there, a lot of men, they don't have, like, there's no quarter for lonely men. And also, there's a lot of guys out there like myself. They don't have anyone. Just thinking about my grandmother dying and the conflicts I have between me and my dad. He doesn't even understand. He doesn't do any of his research or care about what's going on with world affairs. I think he's oblivious, and he's at that point now in his retirement that he doesn't. It doesn't seem to affect him that much, when he's got other things to worry about. Like now he has cancer, and I told him on record not to take the shots, but oh no, he didn't listen to me because why? Because I'm not making money. Yeah. Yeah. It hurts. And I was thinking about going back home to see him, my family, but yeah, we haven't really spoken in some time. Like I said, I was looking to other people to help me find a fellowship. Now, I will say on record though, okay. I did talk to a lady via live stream a couple weeks back. Her name Brianna for Christ. She had her own online ministry. That was nice. It was like, okay, I got to talk to somebody, but it was, via screen. I need to find, someone, in the real world. I'm way up here up north. I mean, they're down there. It's like, trying to tell somebody they need help. One of the hardest things in the world is men asking strangers for help. And shout out to the gentleman. Okay, Roy, uh, Deliverance Prayers, his YouTube channel. I'm just gonna post a link again. That was really cool. Touched. I bought food, clothing, and YouTube equipment. The cheaper brand, because that was all I had in my budget, and didn't want to waste much money on one particular item, which I did want to get the Shure mic, but I just wanted to wait and see first. I decided, you know what, I'm gonna see if I can find another job and earn it. I want to pay it with my money, not anyone else's. No donations. Until then, I'm just living below my means, if that makes sense. So I'm not going over to bars. This hat, my dad, he gave that to me. I got other hats and clothes and stuff, but I'm never gonna throw this away. You know, I, I'm angry with my dad, but sometimes I can't help but feel like I want to make him proud. He knew, he didn't really believe in my passion for wanting to get into film school, which I dropped out because again, students there, they didn't take it very seriously. I wanted to make movies, and that's all I really wanted to do. Never thought that the world would change this much in a short time. I mean, like, I knew that social media would make things more complicated, but now we got AI, we had COVID. I been through like years of extreme isolation, doing research on my own and trying to make videos and having that getting suspended. Yeah, I wonder why, looking back, like, was it all worth it though? Doing all that research and making videos, and it'll never reach the mainstream. I wonder if looking back, if I ever made a difference, if I ever helped anyone. I haven't really put my life ahead of, like, the mission. I don't even know what that means anymore. Mission. Even the Christian community, if they don't even, like, if they don't have any respect for me, they won't even help me to find a good woman and understand where I'm coming from. I mean, they believe that, well, the world is going to end at any time. I heard that since 2006 when I got, access to the internet in my bedroom. It was like, here's how I look at things, okay? When was the last time the world wasn't in chaos? If it's not, COVID, it's going to be something else. Like, we may have another pandemic, who knows? I can't live like this anymore, thinking, like, dreading what if, the world is not going to. And I mean, maybe it may come a point where, yeah, we may see like the end of Western civilization, but that probably won't happen for many years. Like, there's always going to be people that are going to be wanting to, um, work. Society will still continue on as usual. We're a very resilient people. We don't just give up. There's some people now that are homeless, but that's the way it goes. If you don't work, you're gonna be homeless. If you don't plan for the future, who knows what the future really holds? Honestly, I think though that, yeah, looking back, I think I did my part. But it's like, how can you? Okay, this glass, it's going on empty. How can you give back to a community when your cup is empty? It's like that. Like, I'm not young. I only look at because I've been, for the most part, having a clean life. My mother, she raised me right. She was a nurse. You know, I also was trying to keep healthy because I thought that maybe one day, someday, I would find a good woman. I was holding out for that, which never occurred, and yeah, it's just hard sometimes. I don't think I'll ever find a woman who will be um, compatible like me. Somebody who's also into the arts, creative, which is fine. I accepted that. It would have been cool if I found my partner in crime and then we would have gone into making movies and making large sums of money. I saw a TikTok the other day about people skydiving. I thought that was really cool. They looked like they had a blast. Yeah, it reminded me of that time when I was in Banff. It didn't last long, but if I can choose to go back there, I would just go back, stay there. I was sad when it was over. I was like, no, let's stay here. When I had to go back home, it was like, my life wasn't very exciting. Just had to work, taking care of kids, and then, having to pay for LASIK, and then later selling suits, going to school. Where we live, I don't think we had a very good education system. I don't know what people are thinking. Like, people, they didn't used to take class so serious before. Everything was just carefree, and now everything has changed. It's like you have to have perfect credentials in order to be accepted into the higher paying jobs and so forth. That's how the system operates. I wasn't motivated by money. I was motivated by my passion. I try to, get good, and then someday people would recognize my talent. Yeah, I should have went to a better school, maybe Vancouver. But anyway, yeah, I was just contemplating about many different things at the same time. In a few moments, I'm going to probably have to go out there and find what other opportunities exist. It's cold out. It's going to be a long, difficult journey ahead. But I say to the guys, as I was saying before, find your group of people, find your tribe, because there might be some good people out there that, again, the bars, it's not a positive environment. What you need to do, you got to take care of yourself, because you know what, if hard times are coming, you need to find that group of people. They may eventually become the people that you're going to be getting close to, like your brothers and sisters from a different mother. I think I've yet to find mine. Yeah, and these screens, they're not giving me what I need. You know, yeah. I mean, I thank God for being alive and having uh having a roof over my head and being healthy, and but I feel like deep down, things could be better. I don't know. I feel low. Yeah, could have done better for myself. Yeah, I know my dad. He thought so.